What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream, you guys. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope everybody's doing fine. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Try to put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. I'm hoping this live stream works out, y'all. Pray for me. Pray this live stream works out, y'all. Please hit the like button. And also put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me okay. If the sound is good, put a one in the chat. Baby, so I am back. Hopefully this live stream works out, baby. Because listen, my husband did something. So hopefully that works out. Hopefully that works out and we don't have no struggle stream today. All right. All right. So listen, as you guys come into the building, make sure you are hitting the like button. It is free to like. Hit the like button, y'all. That definitely helps the channel out. Also, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the content, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right. So make sure y'all are doing that. Happy Tuesday to everybody in the building. Let's see who's in here. Shout out to Lorenzo Redmond in the building. How are you? Pharaoh in the building. What's going on, Pharaoh? Hustle the Great. What's going on? Who else? In the Classy Perspective. What's going on, Classy? How are you? M5, Demarcus, Vaughn, Ryan Wedlow, Mystery Man. How are you guys? I hope y'all are doing well. I've been watching you for a few years. Congrats on your. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support, M5. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Mr. HH, how are you? How are you? So you guys, I want to share something with y'all. As you see the title, it says "Woman Rage Quits Panel After Man Tells the Truth." So I want to play this snippet or of a video from the Lapeef Network. Shout out to Lapeef Network, y'all. I put the link to the full video in the description if you guys want to go over there and check it out. But I want to react to this because I thought this was interesting, and it shows you, in my opinion, why we have such a divide when it comes to women and men, and how, a divide when men and women in our communities are trying to establish and build relationships, stable relationships. It just shows you the mentality of a lot of women. And this is why I focus on that, because I think even though there are men who have some learning and growing to do, I think there are a lot of women that need to learn and grow for themselves first, for their families, and especially when it comes to relationships as well. Because I think a lot of our women are so far off the mark when it comes to what is needed for healthy relationships, and on top of that, understanding men. And I talk about that a lot because I think it's important for each side to understand each other, because the key to any successful relationship is understanding each other, understanding what makes you tick, what makes this person tick. It's not about perfect individuals, but it's about accepting a person where they are and working with them in the realm of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think far too often you find individuals, sometimes whether it's women or men, they're trying to change a person into what they think they should be, or mold a person into a certain idea of what they think that person should look like. And I think that is a major problem when it comes to relationships, because I don't think that you should be trying to change anybody. You need to know the person that you're dealing with and know who they are, how they operate. And if it's something that you can, work with it. But if it's not, keep it moving, because trying to change somebody, to me, is one of the recipes for disaster when it comes to relationships, in my opinion. I think that, when you try to do that, I think that's only going to cause more divide and more calamity. And people tend to run from that because nobody wants to feel like they need to be molded or shaped into something else, because it'll make you feel like you're not enough and who you are is not enough. And the more you try to please a person, the further and further it pushes you back, because when a person, in my opinion, is trying to mold you into something that they think you should be, it's a never-ending cycle, because you'll never be able to, I guess, live up to their expectations, if that makes sense. Let me know if I'm making sense to y'all, because this is what I've been thinking about this stuff for years, and I realized that you can't do that. You can't change. And I did it too. This is why I'm saying a lot of the things that I talk about is because it's some of the things is what I went through, is what I was doing, you know. I remember early on in my marriage, I was trying to like, you look at you love your husband, you love the person you with, but it's like certain things you want to try to either control or try to change. And I realized you can't do that. You, even though, it's just like an innate thing. And maybe it's something that I grew up with or saw. And I realized, no, you can't change that person. Why do you want to change them? Why do you want them to do things like this? No, accept them the way they do it. If you care about them and you love them, you shouldn't try to mold them or change them to something you think is better, or do something that you think in your mind is better. No, accept them for who they are. Love them for who they are, just as much as you want them to love you for who you are. You don't want nobody to change you. And I think this is the thing with women. We don't see ourselves. We don't see what we do, but we see when men do it. You know what I'm saying? We don't see what we do, but if a man did it to us, now it's blown out of proportion. Now we see it. Now we get it. Now, and it's a major problem. But when you do that very same thing to him, oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's no big deal. You should be okay with it. You should accept it. And I think that is a narrative that we must stop. And I think that is something that is definitely ruining relationships. And once again, I'm just saying this for the record. I'm not saying men are so great and women are just all bad. No, I think there are bad and good in each side. But we live in a society that promotes coddling women to make women feel good about themselves, so that, there's an agenda behind that. There's an agenda behind that, in my opinion. And so if you can continuously, put it out there that women are at the top and they're so great and they're special and they're all his and they need to be treated like this, it creates monsters. It creates the type of women that we see out here today, who are unaccountable. They don't accept, any type of constructive criticism. They don't want to hear anything, me or anybody else, any man or anybody else, what they have to say. Nobody cares. None of these women could care less about all this. This is trash talk to them, because they've been told that they're all tens, they're special. You don't need a man. You damn sure don't need a man telling you what to do. All of this. So they're operating from that place. And Lord, let them get some money. Now we see how that, oh my God, I don't need a man. I make my own money. I make six figures. I'm college educated. Who the hell are you? So now it's all gone to their head. It's a bunch of monsters out there that cannot be tamed. And when you try to put that into a relationship, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And that's why we see some of the most educated women single. And they're getting their babies by themselves because no man wants to tolerate them. No man wants to deal with that type of mentality. And when he doesn't, nobody has to deal with that. I don't care how much money you make, in my opinion. Hell, you can make $30,000 a year. If you making your $30,000 a year and you got your own place and you taking care of yourself, who gives a damn what anybody else thinks? And that's another thing. You got to stop thinking about what other people think and what they've had to hell with anybody else. If you live in your life and you comfortable, you able to thrive and do what you need to do, who gives a shit what anybody else thinks? And I think that, what this going to say, and to hell, when you live in your life and other people out here saying, you a bottom of the barrel, you don't make no money, $30, how you living off that? Somebody living off of it. Somebody living off of it. And they probably content and doing their own thing. If they're content and living their life, why does everybody else care? You don't have to measure up to somebody else's standards. I'm just saying. If you got a studio apartment somewhere and it's clean and you dry and you warm, or you got AC and you have heat and you got food in your refrigerator, your house is, your place is, your studio is clean and you comfortable and you can get back and forth to work, and you taking care of your responsibilities for where you are in life, who gives a shit about what everybody else is doing? If somebody got millions of dollars and they live in this glamorous lifestyle, kudos to them. But, to make people or try to push people to aspire to that is ridiculous, in my opinion. Everybody is not the same. Everybody does not have the same goals and dreams in life. But in our society, people are quickly and readily ready to knock somebody down and condemn somebody for how they want to live their life. Oh, well, that can't be enough. Oh my God, you a bum if you make the kind. No, I don't consider anybody working and providing for themselves a bum. A bum is a person who don't have a job, don't have no resource, no nothing, out on the street. That's a bum has nothing. So if you're working and your job happen to pay, you're not making as much, but you're thriving and you're taking care of yourself, your responsibilities, that's a thriving human being. Why should that person be looked down on as they're nothing? Because you choose to go out here and struggle and rob Peter to pay Paul to look like the Joneses and present a certain way. And so you can feel good about yourself, because deep down under that, you're struggling and crying for help because you're insecure and you need all these things to validate you, to make you feel like you're somebody, when all the while you can't afford that lifestyle. A lot of people can't afford their lifestyles. They're struggling, robbing Peter to pay Paul, in debt up to their goddamn eyeballs, up to their goddamn hairlines. So I just think, as a whole, we all gotta change the way we think and how we see things, because and part of the reason why I think a lot of men are out here trying to struggle to do so much, because the expectations are high amongst others, telling you what you need to have. To hell with if I could give any man, woman, anybody words of encouragement, is to say, to hell with anybody else think. You're not living for them. Do what you got to do for you. Who cares what somebody else makes? You do what you need to do for you that works for your lifestyle. Because everybody not out here trying to drive Bentleys and spend all this money and spend every dime they make. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not trying to do that. And you don't have to. There shouldn't be pressure on everybody to live this one way. And I think, and before we're going to get to the clip, y'all, just a second. And I think that's what a lot of women, the educated women who have priced themselves out, who are at the top, who can't really find a man because their expectations are through the roof. You're so successful to the point, and you still don't want to work with a man. You successful, and because you're successful, you think that this man's supposed to treat you like some type of princess and come in and be your savior, even though you don't need saving. And you make that very clear because you're so successful. You like to take trips and you got the money to do it. Well, why do you need a man to come in and pay all your bills and do it? It doesn't add up to me. And if he makes less than you, you're going to belittle him. Well, that says more about you than him. That says you might not be a good person, because why would you belittle somebody just because they make less money than you? Why would you do that? So that says more about your character and the type of person that you are. And that would be a red flag for any man listening to that to say, well, damn, that's not a good person. I want no parts of that. And you keep it pushing. Because just because you make a little bit more does not give you a reasoning behind treating somebody poorly because of that. So this is why when we talk about educated women, why a lot of educated women will be single, because they have this air about them. They have this idea that I'm so successful, I need a man to match that, or better, for me to even give him any attention. And you miss out on a lot of potentially good men who would do good by you. But because you're focused just on money and education and status, you lose out. And if you won't settle and you won't do anything else, well, because honestly, I think a lot of those men are settling for those types of women. Those women, a lot of these women, and once again, dating shouldn't be based strictly on money. It should be based on the person, the character of the person, who that person is, how they treat you, what their goals are, all of that stuff, not just your money. You know what I mean? Because once y'all come together, y'all merge that together, and y'all could do so much more. But until a lot of these women wake up and realize what they're doing, it's gonna be a major problem. And it's only gonna get worse and worse and worse. And when these black men who they say are dusty and they don't want to deal with them because they don't have a degree and they don't make what they make, when these men really start going out and divesting and finding women for real of marriage material and start marrying them and those numbers start to change, these women gonna be shit out of luck for real. I'm just saying. So, I just wanted to say that because they're really stuck on stupid in a sense. Like, y'all don't realize how this is directly affecting you in a negative way. and you just keep running with it, like somehow you're gonna manifest everything that you want, and then they're entitled and spoiled. On top of that, it's like you don't want to work with the man at all. You want to you make half of them talking about they make $250,000 a year, which a lot of them be lying, to be honest with you. But it just say they do. Okay, I don't give a shit what you make, but if you did make that, okay, so you need a man to make 250,000. What man making that kind of money? Then they be having 2 and 3 kids and stuff. So what man is gonna? And then they be overweight and not the cutest. And then you be sitting here thinking that you're everything in 10 bags of chips, and you look dry mouth, just crusty skin and a wig on, and you think that you look so great. Like, come on now, no. And just because you got a degree behind your name, that don't mean jack shit. Look at you. Even if a man was trying to he wants something that he can look at and be like, oh my God, she's so goddamn beautiful. I had to. No, we don't see that. We see the most crustiest, dusty looking women thinking that they're so great with these wigs and stuff on, thinking that they're everything. And you're really not. That's why you're by yourself. And you're really mad and bitter inside because you don't understand why no man approaching me? Why I'm by myself and I got these degrees? Girl, y'all so stupid. It's like you got these educations and the educations that made you dumber. You know what I mean? It's like you're going backwards in logical thinking. Anybody with sense knows a degree that's not what qualifies you for a healthy man or relationship or whatever. Because men aren't even looking for women in that way. That's what we women look at. Oh, status. Does he have a good job and all that? You know what I mean? Most women want a man who's doing something. You know what I mean? Even if she's not a gold digger and not looking for the most, she still want to know that he got something going on about him. That's what most women look for. But men ain't going around saying, oh my God, where are the women with all the degrees? No, men are they're driven by something else. But it's unfortunate that these women were taught, go get your degrees, child. Go take care of yourself, and then you worry about a man. Then you could get married. They lied to y'all. They hoodwinked you. They set you up for failure, telling you, oh, go get your degrees. And when you get your degree, by the time you're 30 years old, you got your career, now you can get married. Now you're out here looking for a man. Expectations are through the roof. And no man is trying to take you seriously. And you meet some that sleep with you and maybe sell you a few dreams and make you think, oh, maybe he'll be the one. Maybe he really never was interested in you. All you do is sleeping with you here and there, and you just end up by your goddamn self. Because then he leave you, and guess what he do? Go marry somebody else who is a marriageable woman, and you thinking because you're everything and 10 slices of bread because you got them degrees and you're a high caliber woman, and oh my God, every man should be lucky to have with me. They don't work like that. But they're realizing it, but they don't like it. They don't like it. There's no accountability. It could never be them. I said before, there's some good women out there. But the majority of the good women they either married or they're in stable relationships. Let's be honest. The good women either marry or they have a man. They're not, and if they ain't got a man, they're definitely not on social media complaining about men and all of this other stuff. It's the ones who are typically single and by themselves who are always complaining and asking why men don't approach them. And for some of them, I mean, it's easy as looking in the mirror, like, girl, but you're not gonna see, but you're not gonna see what everybody else sees. Because you got this delusional mindset of what you are and who you are based off of what you look like, and everybody else don't see you that. What you think is high caliber, you look so great, everybody else looking at you saying you look a hot mess. I'm just saying, because what you think is attractive is not what everybody sees as attractive. These big old asses that they walk around here, Donkey Kong asses, they think that look good. If you look in the mirror, I would, if I put, because they got the big asses you put on, and you could put that on and put your clothes on and look in the mirror, and you would be embarrassed to go outside. Because it's so big and donkey like, you wouldn't even want to go outside. But to somebody else, they look at that and they be like, oh, girl, I got a fat ass. I look good. And yeah, that's going to give me a man. And everybody else pretty much thinking the same way. You look a hot mess. But they don't see it. The pounds of makeup, all the pounds of hair and the pounds of everything, y'all don't see that looks a hot mess. And then when somebody tell it to you, oh, you mad, ready to fight and cuss people out, talking about I look better than you, and I bet your man will want me. But how my man gonna want you when you can't even get a man or keep one, baby? If you can't, but my man, you can't even. They ain't one nowhere near around you. But when it's maybe 1 in the morning, when they trying to hit it and quit it, when they trying to bounce that big ass you got and keep it going, that's it. That's the only time you see one. So what you talking about? Somebody else man wants you, when no men out there want you, and you've been walking around showing that ass all day, every day. Ain't nobody ever tried to get with you. So shit. How you gonna say my man wants you? Well, all these men out here ain't wanting you. So it's just, you gotta. They just gotta, you gotta get it together. That's all I'm saying. What's going on, Garuda Legends? How are you? So, 40 pounds of eyelashes looking so damn ignorant. I'm telling you. No lies detected. So, we gotta start somewhere. The mentality. This is why I always say the mentality has to change. You have to think differently. Stop thinking that everybody is coming for you. Stop thinking that everybody is bashing women, and realize what people are saying. Because at some point, you're going to have to, either you're going to change or you're not. Either you're going to do something that's going to yield you a different outcome, or you're just going to do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, listen, no matter what I say or what nobody says, you have the right to do what you want to do. You have the right to live your life the way you want to live it. But stop complaining. That's all I'm saying. And you can complain all you want, but complaining is not going to get you the outcome that you want. Actions. Changing the way you think, doing something differently, trying something new, getting yourself together, thinking differently, moving differently, listening to constructive criticism. Listen to what the men are saying. Hell, you don't want to listen to me. Listen to what the men are telling you. They don't like all that stuff, but a lot of these women are so stuck in their own ways. They're so stubborn. You don't want to hear what men got to say anyway, but you want one. So how you going to want a man and you don't want to hear nothing he has to say if you want a man, baby, you're going to have to listen to him at some point. Yeah, at some point, you're going to have to shut up and listen to what he's saying. So if you can't learn or master shutting up sometimes and realizing you don't know everything and you're not always right, you're going to have to learn to listen to a man. And I know a lot of these women were raised by their single mothers. And they didn't have a father figure in the household to tell them nothing, didn't tell them mama nothing. She ran the show. So I understand a lot of these women grew up with the sisterhood and the matriarchy. A lot of women grew up with nothing but women in their families running the show. So I understand you believe you run the show too. And a man can't get a word in edgewise and tell you nothing. So you got to understand that if you're going to have a man be the head of the household, he's going to have to say something, and you're going to have to shut up and listen at some point. And if you don't want to do that, baby, just cancel Christmas, honey. Go live your life in a single hood. I don't know what to call it. Just go be single, happy in your life. Take all the trips you want with the money you got left. And, just do you. And stop complaining that all men ain't shit. No, because the men that got stuff going for them and the women who got, they got, most of these men out here married and got women and whatever, living their lives. All these men are single and they living their lives and they're not really checking for y'all and y'all mad about it, but you don't want to do anything to change it. So if you don't want to do anything to change it, oh well. Maybe somebody else will listen to this and learn. But if you don't, that's your business. Keep on rolling. Keep on walking. Keep on wearing your bonnets. Come outside. Go to the airport. Your bonnet on. Your pajamas and your slippers. And just do you, honey. Crusty lips. Dry eyes. Whatever you want to do, do it. But just understand there are consequences behind it. That's it. That's it. You can do whatever you want. There's consequences, though. And you got to understand that the world owes you nothing. Nobody owes you anything. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that you are owed is what you give to yourself. Nobody owes you anything. No man owes you nothing. If you don't want to do what you need to do to get the outcome you want, that's on you, baby. Just the consequences. Don't be pissed about what you end up getting. Baby Funk 1975. Thank you so much for the super chat, sis. Don't know what smells worse, the BBL or the gas coming from it. Oh my God. Now I don't want to smell it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please. Also, if you want to support the channel, you guys support with a super chat. Super chat is not going to break the bank. I hope it doesn't. Make sure you guys are supporting in that way and hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Oh my God. Farrell, thank you for the super chat, sis. Too many BBL infect vids out. Stank assery is real. It is. Lord have mercy. That's what they're saying. I don't want to smell it for real. I'm just saying. They can keep it. Thank you, Farrell, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Um, yeah, it's just a mess, y'all. But I just wanted to, put that out there but let's go ahead and get into this clip because I want to react to this. And y'all make sure y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat, y'all. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the chat. Come on now, we got 101 people watching, y'all. We got 47 likes now. Come on now. Y'all can do better than that. Hit the like button. It takes a second to hit the like button. Get the likes up, y'all. Go ahead and get the likes up while I go ahead and play this clip. Here we go.
And so right now we're talking about wives and
and then I fell asleep, and then the guy came and rescued me and kissed me, and I woke up from my beautiful princess dream. I get it. We've all grown up on Disney. I understand. But it is also okay to make sure the relationship works for you and you see him being your husband as well. It's okay to not want to just look at a guy and be like, oh, wow, like, I can't wait to be tethered to him and not know what he's about. He's just doing whatever they say that he should be doing in the books. No, like, are you genuinely happy? Or are you just there because people are telling you should be there as a woman and that's your duty and that's what you're supposed to do?
Now, before we move on, shout out to Classic Perspective. Thank you for the super chat, sis. I had a friend who smacked his girl's BBL. It fart like a whoopee cushion and splattered in his face. I know you lying. Classy, you lying. You got to be lying. I don't believe that. That's some nasty shit. I'm just saying, Classy, are you serious? That's disgusting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh, hell no. Nah. That's disgusting, Classy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much for the support, Classic Perspective. That is disgusting. What? And he was okay with it? Where the juice came from? Must be the incisions. That's disgusting. Oh my God. Nasty. But what I wanted to say, that threw me off, Classy. What I want to say is, listen, I think a lot of women are looking for total happiness in relationships. And I think that's what she's saying. Listen, this is what she's saying is, I don't know what she's saying, but all I know is, look, when you're dating somebody, that's why you vet the person you're dating. You take time to get to know them. What do you mean? Oh, you need to know if this person makes you get to know them. You're supposed to get to know them, know what they're about, know what it is that you want in a relationship. And on top of that, understand that a relationship is not just focused on your happiness. It should be the both of your happiness and not just happy. Nobody's walking around happy 24/7. 24/7. Nobody's walking around excited all the time. You could be in a good mood, but ain't nobody just particularly just happy, go lucky every single day. And if you are, great. But if that shouldn't be contingent upon somebody else. You are responsible for your own happiness. And I think that's what she's going to be told. But I mean, I don't think she gets it. And I think a lot of women don't get that. They are solely out here looking for a man to come in and complete them and coming in and just changing their whole world, changing their mind, changing their state of being. They want some type of miracle worker is what I'm thinking they're looking for. You looking for a miracle worker? You looking for a man who has all of the qualities to come in and give you everything that you want, pay for everything, and on top of that, come and get your mental together too? He's not a psychologist. These men aren't mind readers. They aren't psychologists. They aren't goddamn whatever y'all want them to be. Y'all want these men to be whole and come in and fix you and deal with you. That is not what you should be looking for in a mate. And that's they don't get it. They're just walking around here thinking that they could be as toxic as they can, and the man is supposed to come in and fix everything. Who told the very people that y'all were told not to give a shit about? Don't worry about what a man gotta say. You don't need no man. Are the same ones y'all want to come in and rescue y'all and fix you and make you whole and make you a princess and treat you like royalty? What? What kind of mind screwing is this? It seems like a game. I already think about this. Why, how a lot of these women have the audacity to think that you can call these men dusties. They bottom of the barrel. They ain't shit. They're this, they're that. They don't take care of their kids. They don't do anything. They broke. But y'all still out here looking for one of these men to level up and take care of you. Why would they do that? Child. Let's continue.
Well, why is it bad that someone would want to support their spouse or their partner? Like I clarified, when you're in a marriage, it's a partnership, it's a unionship.
Mhm.
What I'm lacking, he will make up for, and what he's lacking, I will as well. It's not a factor of being a slave, it's a factor of that is the person that I choose to be with for the rest of my life. And whatever it takes for us to be happy, we should both be in agreement that we will do what it takes for us both to be happy. But happiness is found within yourself. It's not found within somebody else. So if you are leaving relationships because you are solely not happy, then you have to, and you're constantly in this back-to-back spat of like every time I'm not happy in a relationship, I'm going to leave. Then at one point, are we going to reflect on ourselves? Is it me? Like, what can I do to make myself happy? Because my happiness is not determined on what my partner is. I created that happiness for myself, and anything we have together, it just elevates. Not every time are we going to be happy in relationships, but are you going to go through the mud with me, through the thick and thin with me, and regroup that or make that come back? Can we make that happen? That should be just as important, correct?
Got it. I mean, yes, we all want to have a partner that could stand the rain. I understand that. I was speaking in the sense that the words that I'm hearing, it's what she's supposed to be doing. And aren't you supposed to want to serve your husband? Those two words is what my response is based on. A partnership is something that I have been saying from the beginning. Two people in a working relationship that is healthy are supporting each other. Supporting is a key word, but this serving thing, no. Okay.
So Mark, I know you've been paying attention and listening intently. What's your thoughts so far on what you've been hearing thus far? Respectfully,
Marcus, man, I don't know why you trying to involve me in this foolishness, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know what my thoughts are, man. It's malarkey, it's tomfoolery, it's buffoonery being on display. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Gentlemen at home, please pay attention, with the exception of Amira. And I'm not familiar with the other ladies, and I mean no disrespect. They could lay out when it was, what is the husband duties? They had a list. When it came time to speak about what their duties are, they struggled to articulate.
No, we didn't struggle. It just wasn't our turn.
May I please land? No disrespect to you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Opportunity to speak. No disrespect to you at all.
Let's let him finish his statement, y'all. So
there was a struggle to kind of articulate exactly what it was that a wife's duties were, because women don't really have a sense of duty. They don't understand duty. Like the young lady stated, women are more concerned with their personal happiness. And when when happiness is your concern, you abdicate all thoughts of duty. There is no duty when you're trying to be happy. When you get up every day and go to work, you don't want to go to work every single day, but you have a duty to pay those bills that you know are coming on the 1st and 15th. So therefore, you get up when you don't even feel like it, and you go in.
Now, let me just pause it there for a second. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. But I think for women, that's not something that we were taught. That was something, and nor do they want to learn it, because it benefits them to put all of the pressure and everything onto the man. It doesn't benefit them, because if they can get away with putting all the pressure on the men and making men think that their duty is to cater to her, then that's less that she would have to do. So that's less that she would have to do when it comes to the relationship. And that's best. A lot of women they want to do the bare minimum, but complain about men doing the bare minimum. This is why I say you have to listen to women say, because what they say is them projecting their own feelings onto you. Women talk about, these men don't want to do the bare minimum. No, it's because you are trying to do the bare minimum. So you want him to do it all so you can do the bare minimum. Make sense? And so this is why I say you have to really listen to what these women say. Don't go by what they tell you and how they'll try to, swindle you, get up under you and make you think one way. No, listen to what they say, because that can tell you a lot about that person, what they up to, what they're trying to do, if they're trying to manipulate you, if they're trying to take advantage of you, because a lot of them are. So this is why I say projection is real when it comes to women. They don't want the bare minimum for a man because they know they give the bare minimum. They don't want a man who's broke because they know they really broke. They can't have two broke ones. And they don't want to be broke together and build together. You know, because I mean, look, most people, you know, when young, you know, and you don't have a lot of money and you dating, both of y'all don't have a lot of money in most cases. So what do y'all end up building together? You end up building even if y'all are in college at the same time. But a lot of these women who get married in college, they don't have much. Y'all in college, you got student loan debt. Or you ain't got a lot of money coming in. You're in college. You're working towards it. So what do? They start together with nothing and they build something together. But a lot of these women don't want to do that. So in my opinion, the women who say that are the ones who want the bare minimum because they want to sit back and just be on easy mode. And they want you to break your back and always continue climbing to the top so that you can just they can just sit back and reap all the benefits without doing much. If you don't require them to do much, my baby ain't gotta cook no meals. I could cook. So you gonna work. You gonna take care of all the bills. You gonna cook the food. She never has to cook. There's nothing that she ever does. She just do nothing. She don't want to even be at home, clean the house, keep the house. Don't even want to watch the damn children. You want to send the children over to your mother's house and you want to just be outside. A lot of these women want to be outside 24/7. You want to party with your girlfriends and take girl trips. You don't want to be responsible for anything. So that's why you want a responsible man who's just obsessed with you and he just loves your body. So as long as you giving him some cooch, he's okay. You could just do whatever hell you want. But what he don't realize is she's not the right woman for you. And and you ain't the only one getting that cooch, honey. That's why she always outside. Why is she outside on these girls trips getting banged in and from the back, from the bottom, high from the top? And you sitting at home thinking you got a good woman because you attracted to her and you are obsessed with her and you gonna just let her do whatever she want while you sitting at home completely oblivious to what she's doing. This woman don't want you. This woman is out doing what she really want while you the sucker at home paying all the bills, cooking the meals, probably watching the kids, doing the most, letting her do whatever she want. That's a super simp for you. I'm just saying. And I'm not talking about men who are stay-at-home dads and things of that nature, because there are some men who work from home and send their kids to school and things like that. I'm not talking about that. While, their wives or whatever have the careers and work outside the house, there are some relationships where they have that going on and they're doing perfectly fine. No, I'm talking about a man who just don't require anything from the woman whatsoever because he's so enamored with her. He's so happy to have a beautiful woman. And she's just out here doing whatever. She could care less about being at home, care less about being with you. She want to hit them streets and she want to go do what she really want to do. You see what I'm saying? And then she going to come back to you, give you a little coochie and that's all you want. And then she back out to the streets. Nah, that ain't a relationship that you should be thrilled to be in. I'm just saying. That's not a relationship you should be thrilled to be in for real. Coffee Killer, thank you so much for the super chat. Says it would take a dude like Professor X to get all the possibilities of a woman's choices and pick the right one. Thank you. It would take Professor X. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, Coffee Killer. That's crazy. Professor X from X-Men, right? That's crazy. Child, it's going to take something because they're not getting it, but they will soon. And then it's going to be too late. We got a simp apocalypse going on, child. Yes, Lord. What's going on, Avenge the Ancestors? How are you? Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, y'all. Also, y'all, $5 super chat. That's not going to take the bank, right? Y'all go ahead and support the channel with a $5 super chat. That would definitely help to build the channel, you guys. Make sure you're doing that. That's not a whole lot to ask. And go ahead and do that. And also hit the like button. It is free to hit the like button, y'all. All right? All right. Yeah, it is crazy, y'all. Let's continue, though. Thank you, Coffee Killer. Once again, I appreciate the support. Here we go.
Happiness is not on that sliding scale because it's delayed and deferred because what's going to keep you happy is knowing you got a roof over your head and you have a vehicle to hop in that's going to start and get you from point A to point B. And when you open your refrigerator, you'll see groceries that you can consume that can give you sustenance. And that's been allowed throughout history. So at this point, you know, when we're talking about duty on the man's side and on the woman's side, men, we are from day one, we're told by our mothers, by society, by teachers in the school, we're molded and branded. If you don't do X, Y, Z, if you don't have this by this age, if you're not here by 30 or 40, you're of no value. But that has not been disseminated amongst the community of women. So it's very difficult for them to understand the duties, number one, if they've never been taught. Number two, if they don't have a belief system that reinforces those duties. And number three, if they're putting personal happiness and instant gratification at the top of their list. I'm done.
All right, and that leads us probably directly into the next question.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So this is kind of like the issue that I have with these panels, right? A question was asked. Not everybody was able to go. One person said something that was, aside from everybody's thoughts. And it's like everybody said it when everybody didn't even have an opportunity to go. You understand? Amir spoke, I think this young lady beside me, there were some things that you probably would agree that she was saying you should be the support. But one person, when it gets the grain, is all of the women. And that's what I see a lot in these spaces. No, we didn't all agree with that. We didn't all have an opportunity to speak. So let's just, when we're having these conversations, just call, if you have a disagreement with any young lady, call that young lady out. It's not all of us. We all think very different. Her relationship is going to be different from mine. My relationship is going to be different from Aisha's. How we all think very different. We have our own way.
You know what? And I can respect what she's saying. And I think that's an important point. But, so many women don't do that. I think a lot of times women ask for things that they don't do themselves. You know what I mean? Y'all ever notice that? And I'm not saying specifically her, because I get what she's saying. And I watch these panels and they do kind of address it in general, though. But I don't think they're usually pinpointing it. But I think women do it a lot. I mean, seriously, women say black men ain't this and we don't want to date them no more because they're bottom of the barrel. They don't even know how to do this, and they don't know every negative thing that you can think of a black man. Women have said it out loud all over social media and other places. I mean, they have literally condemned black men. I mean, said all kinds of stuff. I mean, when the protests and things were going on, it was like, oh, we're not protesting for these ninjas. We can't wait till the police, shoot them up and do all these other kind of things they were saying. Or they could be bullet bags. I mean, I've seen some horrible stuff that black women have said about just black men in general. They're not separating the good black men from the bad ones. They're not specifically pointing out a certain group of men. They're not saying, hey, this particular man said this about black women, so we don't like him. We're not talking about all. No, they put all black men in that category. Women do that all the time. But, it's like, once again, I say women expect things that they don't even give themselves. It's because they're special. They're special and they deserve the world, and you deserve, and all you're supposed to do is work till you die and give it all to them. Your happiness is not important, but theirs is. Their happiness is the number one thing, and you're supposed to be catering and jumping around like happy jumping monkeys to go ahead and please these women 24/7. But what about your happiness? They're not even concerned about you. And I think it's time men focus on their happiness. Why not? Focus on the things that make you happy. Focus on things that will help you live a better life. It shouldn't be just the woman. I understand, for somebody you care about, you want to do things, you want to see them happy, but I think that should go both ways. Y'all should want to see each other happy. It shouldn't just be for the women. And I think that's something men struggle with because, once again, like he said, men were always told, yes, as young boys, hey, you got to pull the chair out I've heard it in 3rd grade. You got to pull the chair out for a young woman. You got to respect the lady. You got to talk to her like this, approach her like this. You got to give her something. The boys try to get a flower or give you a pencil or give you something. There's always the little boys had to give the women something. And the women just act like they don't need you. Standoffish, like that ain't good enough. The young girls always had the attitude like, you might like me, but that ain't good enough. You got to come correct. You got to come better. You know what I mean? And never nothing that was told to us as young girls. oh, well, this is how you need to be for a young man. You need to do this. You need to do that. Never. And I think that's a problem that we're facing today. They're stuck there and they don't see or believe that they need to do anything else. And I think that has become a major problem, especially as it relates to relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I think women are stuck and they really believe that this is how it's supposed to be, and they have not grown from that. You know, Mr. Lego, you always would say, oh, women are like little children, and it's true. They think like young teenage girls, like, oh, this is, you know, they really do. It's not you're mature in your body and age, but you're not mature in your mind. But then because they have these degrees, they think that they are. But when you ask logical, simple questions, they look stumped and confused. And then when you tell them something, they want to, I know what I'm talking about. I have a degree and a bachelor's in this. I'm smart. No, that don't mean you're smart. That don't mean you have any logical sense. That means you went to school, you paid for something, you read some books and you took some tests and you graduated. But when it comes to common sense and knowledge and thinking logically, a lot of them don't have the abilities to do that. Avenge the Ancestors, thank you for the super chat, says, says, I got nothing but love for you, Queen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Avenge the Ancestors. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for being here, too. Thank you. Shout out to you. Let's continue, y'all.
Wait, we don't all think the same, okay?
So
in that
one second, Marcus, before you go, I need to clear something up, right?
Let me just
I'm
say
sorry.
this.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let her land. Go ahead.
In that particular situation, we didn't have an opportunity. She came in, she was one of the first women to speak. I didn't have an opportunity to speak on what I feel like a woman should bring to the table. I didn't. She came in, they asked her the question. I think Amira had an opportunity to speak. I know Aisha didn't have an opportunity to speak.
You got an opportunity now.
So I agree with Amira. I think a woman should make a house a home. I think a woman should be a man's support system. I believe in it. Help me. You know, I think that one of the reasons why we are so behind as a people is we don't get married. We don't use each other the way we're supposed to be used. Men marry women who can help them get to their vision. That's how I think that men should lead by example. Women should follow their leadership. They should marry someone who they see the vision and they should help him get there. I think that inside the home, women are over to the children. We're nurturers. There are qualities that women have that men don't have and vice versa. There are things that men are good at. There are things that women are naturally good at. And I think that women should provide those things, right? I think Amira said respectful. You should be respectful to anybody, but of course your husband. Like that's just, it should be a given. So I think that and I don't have a problem with the word submit. I don't. I mean, that can be that's just me personally. And then that's just how I feel. I think women should be there to help their husbands, be a support to their husbands in their household. And like I said, the man is the house, woman take care of the home, if that makes any sense.
So if I may just say this to clarify some things, right? I never once said that the lady in the bottom left, that her thoughts and sentiments applied to all the women. I never once said that that was the general consensus of all the ladies on the panel. What I said was that the ladies struggled at first to articulate what their duties were as a wife. Whereas when you were asked what the men's duties were, y'all rambled it off like this and I did that to just present the idea and the fact that in society, y'all are told about what we're supposed to be doing, but y'all are rarely ever told what y'all are supposed to be doing. Exactly. And that was the reason why I brought that point up. But I never accused y'all of having the same thoughts and sentiments as the young lady who I spoke previously. I didn't do that.
My apologies. It's just when you said ladies, I assumed you were talking about all the ladies. But
my fault. I'll be more clear.
Can I say something real quick? Because if that's the case, you made a comment, sir, and you said something about, I want you to see this buffoonery. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but
I was referring to directly what you had stated, directly to what you said.
I appreciate that, but I'm respecting you, so I expect to be respected as well.
I was only commenting on your comments, not on you as a person, just to make that clear.
This is my opinion, and I am not a buffoon, so learn how to use your words with tact while you're trying to tell the men to look at the people on this panel as an example.
Now let me stop her right there. See, the man didn't call you a buffoon, honey. He said he called what you were saying buffoonery. He didn't call you a buffoon yourself. And you got to understand that Your perspective is your perspective. Your opinion is your opinion. Everybody doesn't have to agree with it. This is why I say that all the time. Look, my point of view is my point of view. I have reasons as to why I think the way I think, and that's my opinion. You can accept it or you don't have to. I don't give a shit. Because everybody is not the same. I can respect though what you're saying, even if I don't agree. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. You can respect what somebody is saying, but they don't have to agree. If he called your statements buffoonery, that's his opinion on what you said. He didn't call you, he didn't say, hey, you buffoon. He said what you were saying was buffoonery, and he has a right to think that it's buffoonery if that's what he thinks. Just like you have a right to say what you're saying. I think it's nonsense. I don't believe it. Okay, cool. That's your perspective. That's what you believe. That's why I said we gotta learn to respect people's differences. Everybody's not going to agree, you know, and that's we should all know that as grown-ups. We're all grown. This is what I don't understand. People are grown until you're well grown until it's time to have logical thinking and understand that everybody is not the same. Everybody is different. Everybody don't have to coddle you and tell you everything good and never tell you everything you want to hear. That's the problem with a lot of women. They really think that men and people just in general, this is why you have women even spazzing out amongst each other. Women don't like each other. I mean, somebody told me about this story of this pregnant girl who, you know, her friends, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, and it's kind of going off a bit, but I wanted to mention this. This woman was pregnant, and her friends set up a baby shower for her. So they set it up. They set up the venue and everything, and then they get this girl to the baby shower and beat the shit out of her. They jumped her, pregnant and all. It's supposed to be her friends. Every friend there jumped her, causing her to lose her baby. So what kind of sisterhood is this? Y'all don't like each other, and then you know what I'm saying? And then you just want people to just listen to what you got to say, and everything you say is golden? No, it got to make sense, baby. If it don't make sense, it just don't make sense, and I ain't got to agree to it. And vice versa. You don't got to agree with what I'm saying. Everybody have their own mind. You have your own brain. You think you have been through a certain situations or a set of circumstances that cause you to think the way you think, or for however you get to your logical reasoning. That has nothing to do with me, because I'm not in your head. I wasn't in your life. I don't know how you get to your conclusions. I can only offer what I believe, what I think, and that's it. What I say isn't golden. What I say isn't, the end all be all. That's what opinions are. That people have life experiences and things that they go through to tell their story. It's your opinion, your story. It doesn't have to always align with everybody else. And you got to respect people's differences. A lot of people, may not agree with what I'm saying, but that's okay. If you got a difference of opinion, maybe there's something I can learn or take away from you just as well as you can learn and take away from me. But if you don't, okay, more power to you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not a personal thing. And a lot of these women, in my opinion, her on this panel down at the bottom left, she's taking it personally. That man did not call her a buffoon. He said what she was saying is buffoonery, her statements. That's a difference. But she took it personal. And then they start usually doing the insulting or insulting. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate you for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Brent. Brent Parker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Child, let's continue.
With yourself. Okay. Second of all, advocating for your personal happiness is a healthy choice of living for any person on the planet. So I'm not sure why we're trying to encourage women to not pursue their own happiness. That's crazy.
Well, I don't think he was saying that you can't pursue your own happiness, but you can't depend on a man to make you happy. Does that make sense? You can be in pursuit of your own happiness. That means finding things that makes you happy. It's not necessarily a man's job to come in and make your whole life happy all the time. That's not what that should be. And I think a lot of women, once again, are looking to men to change their whole lives and their whole circumstances and make everything about their lives better, when these women aren't trying to do that the same for the man. I could see if they were right there saying, hey, what do you need me to do to make you happy? What can I do to better your life too? How are we going to make it? What do you want from me? But they're not going into it like that. They're looking for happiness from a man. And that should not be the key to all of your happiness. No, there should be other things that you do, because it's your life. You, before you get married, before you get into a relationship, you have to figure out what's going to make you happy. First, you have to know what it is that you want in life. You have to search your own happiness. And if you are, on the pursuit or in the pursuit of making yourself happy, that's on you. That's not on a man. If you meet a man who is a good guy and he want to be with you and y'all want to build a life, of course he's not coming in and trying to make you sad. You know what I mean? He's coming in doing what a man would need to do to build a family with you. I think also the mentality and the thought process of what a man and what a relationship and what all this is for has been lost. People don't look at duty as the guy was saying. What's the duty? What is the purpose of you having a husband? What's the purpose of you having a wife? Is it just to solely make you happy? No, it's not. It's about much more than that. And I think a lot of women don't really know what their position or their role should be in a man's life, and what her duty would be, because they don't like the word. They stuck on words. They stuck on, oh, duty, oh, submission, oh, catering to a man, or anything. They stuck on words because that's all they know, and they don't really understand the sole purpose of a husband, a wife, and a family. You building something, a legacy, and your kids, and they, to take, because you building, have children so that you can, your legacy or whatever you want to call it can continue on, so that your name can continue on. Your children, they have children, your children, that continues. But they don't know anything about duty and all of that. A lot of us were not taught that. And, once again, my husband said this earlier, just because you wasn't taught something doesn't mean that you don't ever learn. And I think that's the thing. I understand if you weren't taught certain things, but at some point you have to start realizing what's best and what you should be doing, especially if you're in a situation where things aren't working for you and they're not going the way you want them to go. The things that you were told, if it's not working out, then common sense would say, hey, let me try something else. I don't give a damn who told it to you or who taught it to you. At some point, I know it's hard to change old habits and old ways and things, but at some point you need to recognize, wait a minute, this ain't working for me. This is, I know this is what I was taught. My grandma, my papa, or whoever, my mama, or whoever that told me these things. But I've learned that this is really not conducive to healthy relationships. Maybe it worked for them in the 50s, but it ain't working for me now. So let me figure out another way to go. Let me start doing some research or talking to men, or, learning from married people who've been married 20 and 30 years. Let me see what they got to say about this. Cause the sisterhood, I'm around nothing but a bunch of single sister girls who just telling me shit that ain't working. So you know what? Let me back away from that. Let me figure out, at some point as an adult, you have to start to take accountability for your own actions and stop blaming it on what you were or were not taught. At some point, you got to realize, hold up, this ain't working. I got to do something else. That's just a part of being an adult and growing up and learning and doing better. You get what I'm saying? So I just think people, you got to get to a point where you stop blaming others and you start taking some accountability and doing something that will give you the results you are looking for. C. Irving, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says, that brother made a good point about happiness. I don't get why she started with the disrespect towards him. Opinionated people often have a problem with other opinions different from their own. Exactly. Exactly, C. Irving. Oh my God, 100%. 100%. And I don't understand that, because they really think that what they're saying is key and it's what it is. No, you gotta understand that's your perspective, and that's fine. And everybody don't have to like your perspective, and you just gotta respect that. Okay, well, and then they start lying because, you could search for your key to happiness all you want, but that shouldn't be contingent or expected. All of the things that will make you happy shouldn't be all put on a man. This is why you have people like Tia Mowry and others who have had healthy, stable marriages and relationships, not meaning perfect now, but having a family. You built the family, and because you felt it in your soul, you felt like you needed to find yourself. You felt like something was missing. You felt like this isn't all of life. You need more. So you walk away from your family, your husband, breaking your family because of a feeling or because you didn't feel happy. All the while, you control your happiness. And even when you leave your husband, you are still in the search of your life to try to find you when you was with you the whole time. You out here trying to do things that will make you feel better, give you that happiness that you feel you're missing out on. and you're going to be single. And guess what? You still going to be unhappy. You still not going to have that happiness that you thought you needed. And you thought that, oh, when I leave my husband, I'm going to just have this burst of happiness and I feel so great. And when you realize you still lost, what you going to do now? What's the next move? What do you do now? Because now you realize, damn it, I could have kept my family intact. I could have kept my husband, and I still could have been on a journey to find myself. Why did it have to take you to leave your husband for you to go in search of your happiness and you still ain't find it? Don't make no sense. Thank you, C. Irvin, once again for the support. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
I'll say this. Number one, I don't know if that was an attempt to check me, but it'll never work.
Shut up. No one's trying to check
That'll
you.
never happen. Number two,
respect me.
I don't.
Andrea, let him,
so we're going to pass right over that.
No,
Number
respect
two,
me. Don't call me
what was said, and I'm addressing this to the panel, what was said was buffoonery and tomfoolery. And I was speaking directly about the comments, and I stand firm on what I said about those comments. So one rule I have is I don't argue with women. There's only one woman I'll do a back and forth with, and that's my wife. And we'll be having a discussion if that happens. So all the ladies, you can lose your decorum and be disrespectful as you want. You're not going to get a rise out of me. Doesn't work.
I know that's right. I know the hell that's right. Shout out to him. I think he stood on business and said what needed to be said. Because I think, she done got mad and told this man to shut up. These women, like I said, you want respect, but you don't want to give it. You don't want to give it. You want to be able to say whatever it is you can think of, and everybody just supposed to sit there and accept it. And any type of pushback or any type of disagreement, they get in their feelings and they start doing a shaming and a disrespecting. You know what I'm saying? I just want men to be like, to hell with it and let them have it. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna throw insults, I don't care how they call you sassy or whatever. Baby, if I was me, let me be sassy. Because if you disrespect me, I'm gonna give it right back to you. If you gonna be disrespectful, I'm gonna give you the energy you gave me, and I don't give a damn what you say. So that's what I think. I really think men need to just start handing it back and stop giving these women respect that they don't deserve, because they don't give a shit about y'all, and they could just say whatever they want to you, and you're supposed to just be a gentleman and take it. No, I think that's the problem. I think that's part of the problem. Men have been too polite, because let me tell you something. The men who be out there saying, "What's up, B?" and "Come over here," and talk to them stupid, they respond to that. They accept that. But always be the main ones talking about disrespect. But they got ninjas out here who disrespect y'all and talk to y'all crazy because you think he hot and fine. Y'all accept that. And when I say y'all, not all women. Let's make that clear. Not all women, but for the ones who do this, because I know some who do this. This is not all women. It's not directed to everybody. So I don't want women who don't do this to get in their feelings. It's not you. It's the ones who if you're going to be honest, you've answered to a man who called you out your name. You've answered to a man who disrespected you, but you didn't take it as disrespect. So I think sometimes women cherry pick what they consider disrespect and what they don't, because the same way a man is a predator if you don't like him, but if you like him, he's not. So I think this is something that's subjective, and it's selective on who you depending on the person. So yeah, and this is why, I don't be listening to what these heifers be saying, because a lot of them are full of shit and they just don't want to be honest. And I think you got to call a spade a spade. If it barks like a duck and quack like a dog or whatever, however you say that, if it quack like a duck, it's a duck. If it bark like a dog, it's a dog. Hell, whatever else was out there, whatever it do, it is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna coddle you and well, I'm not gonna lie and make something seem like it's not what it clearly is. And I think a lot of women, people in our families do this. I see it. You want respect, but you don't give any. You talk to people crazy and you demand respect, but you hate to respect a person. It's just a lot of stuff with women that I've seen over the years. And this is why I speak the way I speak, and I always say, listen, it's not all women. There are a lot of good women out here, a lot of respectful, good women. And those are the women I'm not addressing. It's the ones who are ratchet and ghetto and don't give a shit about nobody but themselves. And you want all the respect and you want everything, but you You don't even know how to give it. You don't know how to talk to nobody. You don't know how to talk to nobody, not just a man. You don't know how to talk to nobody. You don't know how to respect anybody. You don't have no regard or empathy or anything for anybody, no love for nobody. A lot of these women are just cold-blooded and not in a good way. Cold-blooded bad, and they want all the respect for you, but they talk like niggas, you know. They talk like this, and they want, nigga, what you doing and all, and they want you to respect them and treat them like ladies. Half of them act like men, grabbing their crotch like they got a penis down there. I'm just saying. I ain't never seen a woman grab a crotch like I've seen some women do, like, women don't do, what we grabbing, why we posturing like a man now and grabbing our areas. I ain't never grabbed my area down there for what? I don't have no penis. Why are they doing that? They start acting like men, posturing, walking like men, talking like men. You mean to tell me a job make you do that? Lord. Well, if that's the case, then maybe that's why I don't do it, because I've been home for years. I've worked from home. I've never been out, you know, in corporate America. I haven't worked a regular job in over 20 years. So I've been at home. So maybe that's why. Maybe I missed something. Maybe they've been out here, you know, working these corporate jobs and working jobs and turning into men, honey. I'm glad I missed that. So I'm just like, okay, I've been in the house doing what I need to do. And these women been turning into men. Shit, grabbing their crotch and standing up like they gonna bust a nigga in the head. I'm just saying. I don't know. But anyway, I want no parts of that. I'm just saying, I'm good. But if that's what's happening, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, you know, because they say these jobs made them masculine. So I guess these jobs turn them into men because they talk like men. They be like, what up, bro? And everything. I've never heard so many women speak like that. What up, bro? What's up, bro? What you gonna do? Like, what? Lord. Jesus. Everybody's a bro now, you know, and I mean, I just, even, you know, the women are bro. They what up, bro, to other women. I'm like, oh, ma'am, I'm not a man. Thank you very much. Hello, how you doing? How can I help you? What up, bro? I'm not a bro. I'm not. I'm just saying, I would like to be addressed as ma'am. That would suffice. I don't want what up, bro. I'm not a bro. Like, why do y'all talk like this? I'm just saying. Then you wonder why the men be like, we don't want to deal with y'all, because if you ain't, you know, trying to shoot for the same team, if you a heterosexual man and you want a woman, why would you go to a woman that's saying, what up, bro? I'm just saying, like, that's the new thing now. Everybody's a bro child. That's how these women talk. And so the femininity is lost. I mean, hell, I don't think I'm the most feminine woman, to be honest with you. To be completely honest, I am not the most feminine woman. But I don't want to be addressed as bro. And I'm not going outside grabbing my crotch and walking around like I'm ready to bust a cap in a nigga, like I'm, you know, I'm strong. No, I don't know. For what? What's the point? But this is what I'm seeing. I'm just saying, it's what I'm seeing, and it's just a hot mess. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I think, you know, women lack common sense. I mean, it's a lot that we see out here, and I just think a lot needs to change. And I think women are the ones who need to do a lot of the changes. I've been saying that for the longest, and I will continue to say it until I see some changes. I just think that a lot of women are very selfish, self-entitled, you know, unrealistic, delusional, all of it, you know. And we was talking about being delusional, and there are some women who be like, oh, you should be delusional. I don't agree. I think you should not be delusional. I think you can be confident, and you can be assertive in what it is, and confident in what it is that you want to do in life or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But being delusional to me is a mistake, because I think women take things too far. You know, you want to be delusional in your expectations. It only applies to what you expect from men. It doesn't really apply like they want you to think it applies to, like, oh, I'm working on something and I'm going to call it as I think it should be, and I'm going to be delusional and believe that I have it and it's going to manifest. No, and you're going to put in the work to do it. No, you're only supposed to be delusional when you have certain expectations for a man. When you know that those expectations are unrealistic and you will not settle, and you think that you deserve a certain thing from a man, That's when they want to be delusional. Or I'm delusional because I deserve the best. And I'm just going to wait on my blessing and he's going to come get me, a rich man who's going to allow me to have this soft girl life and this, this life of leisure where I don't have to do anything. And he's just going to come and change my whole world and cater to me. It's a fairy tale that a lot of these women are looking for. And they, in the name of, if I don't get my fairy tale, then I won't settle, realizing that the men who may offer you something similar to that don't want you. Because first off, y'all be having 2 and 3 baby daddies, 2 or 3 kids by different men. You sitting back 300 pounds or damn near 260 maybe. 260, 300 pounds, 3 baby daddies, 3 kids. You say you make 6 figures and you do so much and you got all these degrees. And so that means you're a special woman. But everything that you offering, this man don't need. He don't need your money if he got money like that. He don't want you to take care of your kids, even though he can. He don't want to do it. And on top of that, y'all be big as hell. Y'all got all the BBLs, all the hair, all the stuff that they say they don't want. You sitting there with it and you thinking he's supposed to just come and grab you up with all the options that he could have. That don't work like that. And I think that's the part they hate to accept because they done worked hard and got their degrees and they thought the BBLs were going to get them that man. And now you're telling me I done went through all of this. And now you're saying men don't care. These men I want don't care about my money. They don't care about my degree. They want a low value woman. No, they just don't. They don't want you, because men don't look at relationships and how they go about getting a relationship with a woman the way women look at it. And I think that women, that's why I think they're failing, because they really look at relationships the way men look at it. And they think the same things that men look for, that men are required to have, are the things that, because they're moving like a man. That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of these women are moving like men. So you think you can do the same thing that a man is doing and you're going to get the same results. And when you don't, you're confused, scratching your head like, huh? Wait a minute. I thought men wanted, no, that's what men are required to be. Men are required to be successful, make the money, because they have to potentially take care of a family. They want to be able to support a family. That's the whole point. Buy a house, have a family, raise that family, protect that family. So they are required to bring more to the table because they are supposed to be looking to take care of someone. But women are moving the same way. Oh, I got to go get this degree and I got this because I got to take it. But you already created your children. You already got your kids. So you got to take care of your kids. I can see you got 3 kids. You need a house. Put them kids in. You got to pay for it because the baby daddies ain't nowhere in the picture. They ain't trying to help. So you need to do it all by yourself. And but because you done went and got this degree and you're leveled up, you think you need a man. You think a man is going to be attracted to you because of your leveling up. No, that's not it. And I think that is the disconnect. They really believe that. And they're seeing that it's not working. So we got a lot of successful women with degrees who are sitting up here complaining and wondering why these men not approaching, because she knows she a 10. And nobody's approaching you. Nobody could care. They're walking right past you. They don't care. You could be in the midst of nothing but successful men, and none of these men are checking for you. And then some of them are complaining that the men are going over to the white women. If they see white women in the same vicinity and the black women aren't getting approached, and the white women, the black dudes are going over talking to the white women, and they mad about that. And, and 9 times out of 10, I will say this. If you are at an exclusive event or something where there's, everybody there, black, white, just everybody, 9 times out of 10, the women there, if there are a few black women there, they're usually a little bit bigger in size. And I'm not saying something's completely wrong with that. But if you look at the white women in that vicinity, I'm just saying, they usually are much slimmer. They're usually more in shape or whatever, or they come prepared to meet and mingle and do what they need to do to get what they're looking for. I think because our women sometimes have this entitlement that they're entitled to something. So they have this idea that they just can't go over and mingle and talk to a man just freely because they have this idea that, oh, he has to approach me. A lot of these women don't want to approach men because they feel like the man is supposed to approach. But in this day and age, I said it before, I don't see anything wrong with women approaching. If you see somebody that is attractive, go over and say hello. Hi. Hey, my name is such and such. Nice to meet you. Hey, and spark a conversation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. How else are you going to get yourself out there? If you're standing in a corner thinking that you're entitled and you just want somebody to come to you, and when they don't and they go to somebody else who's more engaging, or while you sitting here thinking that you're too special to approach somebody and just spark a conversation, Becky and whoever else is going over talking to those men. Trust me. They not sitting back thinking that they're entitled. They're going over, sparking a conversation, and that's how they get to knowing them one thing, and then they exchanging numbers, and boom, now you sitting over here by yourself because you feel that, oh, you're too special and they're supposed to approach you. I just think that's crazy. And I think that's, especially in today's dating market, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. Not, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. I don't think you can do that in this climate. I think you have to go out and make yourself known. Let the man know what you about. What's wrong with that? Let them know what you're about. Hell, it doesn't guarantee. Nothing is guaranteed. It's not a guarantee that, oh, this is going to be a connection. But at least you get yourself out there. You get used to just talking to people. What's wrong with, that's what mingling and having a conversation is about. If you out here, you single, and you trying to get somebody, baby, you better stop thinking that you're special in a sense that somebody has to come and approach you all the time. No, you're going to be sitting in that corner by yourself, drinking drinks, dancing in the mirror to yourself for the rest of your days. I'm just saying. You got to start thinking differently. I'm just saying, and having this attitude of like, I could never. Nah, you better stop. Because everybody, other women are going to start taking the men that you thinking you could get. You sitting over here looking like you're too cool for school. Like you can't go talk to people. So yeah, that's another issue I think a lot of women have, and they need to stop with it. Yeah, so I think that's something that needs to change. I don't think there's anything wrong with going up and talking to a guy. I don't think it is anything wrong with that whatsoever. So we're gonna go ahead and react to. I got another clip I want to share with you guys because we have a little bit of time left. But make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button. We got about 146 people in here and 109 likes. Y'all hit the like button. What's wrong? Y'all fingers broke? Why y'all can't hit the like button? What's the problem with hitting the like button? Please hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Ray says, I really don't have a problem with a woman with a degree. If I have a child with her and something happens to me, she don't get in the food stamps line. Okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. So we're going to move on, y'all, to another reaction. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all, while y'all are in here. Here we go.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Kendra. Oh, my God. I made it. Yes.
What's your name? The all-new Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download now.
My name is Deja.
Deja, where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Waysboro, North Carolina.
From where?
Waysboro, it's like 45 minutes from Charlotte.
Okay, North Carolina. How old are you?
I'll be 29 on Tuesday.
Okay. So that's the tourist.
Yes. That's
tourist
right.
Season. It's our season. We've been waiting for the tourist season. I'm a tourist. It's our season. Don't play with us. Don't play.
Yes. Let me keep the camera still.
You have any kids?
I do. I have one.
How old is your child?
Like the other people say, he's 18 months, but he's one.
Okay. Why you not with the dad?
It's a toxic situation, and I just don't want to be one of those ones to stay just because we have a kid together.
Okay. What you do for a living, honey?
I'm a social worker.
Social worker, okay. And I think I got it all. Have you been married?
No, I have not.
So we got Deja, North Carolina, tourist, 29, 1-year-old social worker. Let's do it. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
So I am looking for a loyal man, an honest man, a communicator. I would love someone that communicates. And I'm looking for a partner, someone that we can actually build something together. I've had my fair share, and I just want a grown man.
She wants a grown man. Okay. What's your deal breakers?
So my deal breakers is, of course, a liar, someone that lacks accountability, and just someone that does not have anything going for themselves.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
Well, he has to be attractive to me, and also just I like tall men. I seem to attract shorter men. I'm 5'6", so I don't know why I attract shorter men, but I would like for him to be taller than me.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
I would like for him to be able to take care of himself. I don't have a number, but just well off.
Well off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Deja, North Carolina, 29. Let's do the Kendra camp. What's well off for you, though? What's well off?
Well off would be him being able to take care of his bills and also having some extra. Okay. You know, I don't want to be in the struggle. Let's see.
Okay. We see you, girl. You look thin. How many tattoos do you have?
I have about 7.
Okay. All right, we see you, girl. What basketball game you watching?
Oh, girl, my friend has this on, and I thought basketball season was over with.
Where we at? May. No, April. No, because I once went to an NBA championship game, and I feel like that was it was in the summertime. I think it goes all the way to like June, July. I think it goes.
Okay, let me ask this question because I wanted to ask this earlier. Why is it that the relationship is deemed toxic after you have the child? Why? Y'all let me know why that is. Like, why is that? Why do y'all think that is? Let me know in the chat, y'all. Why is it that the relationship always ends up to be toxic after you've had the baby for him? Why wouldn't it be better to just date and not get knocked up, use protection, protect yourself, use birth control so you wouldn't get a baby by this person until you get to know what they're fully about, if they're toxic or not? Why is it that they end up toxic right after you had a baby? She said her child is 18 months old. So all of a sudden now, oh, I don't want to be in a toxic relationship just because we got a baby. Why not prioritize not getting a baby until you know, first off, till this person is the person that they say they are and they want to commit to you and be with you? What's wrong with waiting and committing to somebody and getting to know a person, and then y'all commit to each other before you create a child? Why is that so difficult in our communities? There has to be, I'm going to have to at some point link up with some other people so we can really have a discussion. We're going to really have to have a panel of some experts and some psychologists or something. I'm going to have to link up with some people who can give us a little bit more in-depth information as to why it's so difficult for our people, Black people, to marry and build families as opposed to creating these broken homes. And then you're still back out here with an 18-month-old child now looking for another man when you haven't even mastered how to be in a relationship. But she's not the fault. No, she's just making babies. It's her body, so it's her choice, right? So she controls what happens. So you decide to go out and have a child with a man who is toxic, but you didn't know he was toxic because that's what they'll say. And after he had the baby, he changed. I don't understand why it's constantly happening. There's nothing changing. It's constantly happening. I don't understand why though. Yeah, let's continue. Let me see something here. Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. Let's continue.
June.
Yes.
Okay. No, it goes to July, I think. Okay, let's continue. When was your last relationship?
My last relationship, I guess you could kind of say it was my baby daddy. So that was probably like 18 months ago.
Y'all broke up when you had the baby?
Yes, girl, because I found out he was cheating on me.
While you were pregnant?
Yes. And he had another girl pregnant.
When was she?
She had her baby in June, and I had my baby in October
So she was
2023.
pregnant before you. So how did you
Yeah.
find out?
So one night we were laying in the bed, and this girl was messaging him, and so us women, we're gonna check and see. So she was like, such and such needed some gas drops. And I'm like, gas drops? Like what? So I go and search up the girl's page, and come to find out that it was a baby there. I'm like, this baby looked like him. So when he woke up, I like played it cool or whatever. And then I asked him, I'm like, so do you got a baby by such and such? And he was just like, yeah. I mean, no. I'm like, do you or do you not? Sure enough, he had a baby. And that's the night I went into labor.
Now, was it, did you go into labor because you got, like, you were so much anxiety, or?
I was amped up. I was like, ain't no way you done had this girl pregnant down the road from me, and you ain't tell me nothing. We living right down the road from each other, and you done had a baby by her while I'm sitting up here pregnant. I don't know. My water broke at 5 that morning. I found out at 12 noon the day, and then at 5 o'clock in the morning, my water broke.
And you had the baby. Yeah,
And I had, yeah.
So this is, okay, 18 months ago. So did you, I don't know how this works, but have the kids met? Are y'all friends? How's that going?
So, girl, I bumped into her at the grocery store.
I just want to say this real quick. Tyler Perry. Booty. Y'all ain't got shit. Y'all ain't got shit on me. I got more stories, baby. For the last month.
But what's funny, that's, and this is the thing, and I really don't be wanting to sound mean, y'all. I really don't. Because I don't want people to go, oh, you just talking bashing black. No, but this is ridiculous. You got to start like being accountable. Like this is the problem, that this is turned into a joke, and she got a big ass smile on her face. Like, you girl, you should be embarrassed. Shame is not here anymore, and I think it's a problem. You should be embarrassed. You shouldn't even have the courage to come on a public platform to even say this. And I think Laura, society has really like did a number on our community specifically, especially because you can come on a public platform and be okay with showing your face and talk and telling people this. That shows you how far we've, how far we've descended. The fact that you can come on a public platform and say you were dating a man who, you probably didn't vet him well enough to know what he was doing, or you knew the type of person that he was. Because let's be honest, a lot of women don't tell the full story. They be knowing that these dudes are players. They know it be a player Pookie, player Ray Ray. They be knowing it's Pookie player Ray Ray. They be knowing it, but you decide to still fool with him. And then, when this happens, they want to play victim. But y'all be knowing these niggas be players, and that's what y'all like. The players. And so, but y'all in competition with who gonna have a baby by him first. Some of them even talk about I wanted to be the first baby mama because ain't nothing like the first. This is the type of mentality that you hear. Women out here bragging about being the first baby mama because you want to be, because something about that first baby mama, because she, she's the authority figure, I guess. I'm like, what the? Really? And then be complaining when the news don't pay no child support, don't do nothing for the kids. You need diapers. You complaining he ain't there. What did you think? What did y'all think y'all was gonna get? Y'all was fighting to get to the D, and y'all got it. Now, nobody said he was gonna be a provider. He didn't tell you that either. Y'all knew exactly what y'all was getting yourselves into. But now you want to play the victim, and now you got an 18-month-old, and I don't know if she have other kids. And now you want a responsible man to come and take that on. No, baby. Hell to the no. And I don't understand. They don't realize they're setting themselves up for failure, but they don't know any better. That's why she's sitting on here Kool-Aid smiling. Got a big Kool-Aid smile on her face. Like this shouldn't be baby, you shouldn't even be on here. You should be afraid to come on social media and tell anybody this type of tea. You should go home and be humble and hide your face and try to figure out what you're going to do. Because this is embarrassing. But society has made these women feel like this is okay. This is okay. You don't have to prioritize marriage and family. Just go out here, get a baby with a real deadbeat. And because y'all match each other, you know, if you out here opening your legs and just spreading it for this one and he got babies all over the broken families all over the place. But we're constantly hearing women say, oh, it's the men. These ninjas ain't this. They don't take care of it. But y'all keep giving them babies. Y'all act like y'all like it. You keep opening your legs for them and giving them what they want and then complaining when you know what they're about. So you don't have no part in that? That's all I'm saying. Like y'all are the main ones that are accountable because you out here wanting to do this and then you want to play victim and society allows y'all to be victims. And then when anybody say, this is a travesty, y'all looking like who a travesty? I'm just saying. I don't. Let's continue.
5 years. They would think, let me tell you something, Ty Apparently, I don't know, your writers haven't heard the stuff.
They haven't.
Wait, so you in the grocery store and y'all both have your children?
Yes.
When?
So probably about like 2 weeks after I had the baby.
Okay, so so we in the so what happens? How's this work? So you pushed it, like what was your aisle? Give me the aisle. What aisle? Baby aisle? Was y'all in the baby aisle?
No, we wasn't in the baby aisle.
Yeah.
But I think I was like, I don't know, picking up some meats or something. And I was just like, oh, hey. And she had her baby. I was like, oh, let me see your baby. And I was like, oh, you know your baby has a brother. And she was like, oh, you know your baby has a sister. And I was just like, okay,
y'all know
it's no beef. I don't have no issue, no problem with you. I live right down the street. So, if at any time you need anything, just let me know.
Yes.
Wait, but did y'all both have your kids with you?
Yes.
So did y'all pick the kids up so they could see each other?
I guess. She seen my kid, I seen hers.
Now, since that moment, have y'all connected?
No.
Okay, so I mean that's tender. Maybe as time goes, because it's interesting because we're living in the times. Like I remember years ago, my cousin has two brothers, and I want to say they're 3 months apart. But this is like years ago, so we're like 15, 16, right, at this time. And now that I'm older, I now can get how 15, 16 years ago, they mom was beefing. But at that time, they mama's child, it was what it was, 15, 16. So maybe right now, by year number 6, y'all gonna be planning like the kids is gonna come together. Y'all gonna put that ain't shit man aside. And y'all gonna start, making sure the kids know each other. But it takes some time. That's fair. Maybe not, baby. Maybe not 1, 2, 3. Maybe the 4th, 5th, baby, birthdays. Y'all might start saying, you want to invite his sister? Because they got to meet someday.
Yes, they do.
Lord.
We got any more kids?
That's a story for another day.
All right, well, back to you.
What you say? Ooh, child.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that was the last relationship. When was
They be knowing. So he got a bunch of kids and they knew it. And then apparently her and the other woman know each other. They live down the street. So he got all, this is what I be saying. And I told y'all before, this is the kind of stuff I grew up seeing. A couple of dudes, in the hood had a bunch of babies by the women. Screwing everybody, knocking them up left and right. They know each other. They didn't like each other. Maybe a couple of them get together and get the children together because one woman got 5, another one got 3, another one got 1, another one got 2. Like all these women got children for the same dude. And some of them be fighting over him, because he's still tapping, tapping all of them. And then this is how it be. And he don't marry now one of them. Neither, well, some of them got killed. So, you couldn't marry nobody when you got killed. I'm just saying. That's one of them that got killed. That's a baby daddy by all the women. And all them children their daddy is dead. You know what I'm saying? Somebody lose their life in that game. That's a part of it. But they bring all of these children here. All these women having these babies by this one dude. Or two, maybe one or two. I'll give it the most 3 dudes in that area of the hood who got all the babies for all these about 5 or 6 or 10 women probably. And they all get knocked up and they all mad at each other. So I'm just like, and none of them get married. None of them, that's just what it becomes, a broken situationship. And they don't know any better. This is why I say you attract what you are. You keep attracting that type of dude because you right there in that same hood. That's your lifestyle. You don't know anything better. You don't know anything about prioritizing marriage. And then the thing about it, though, they be wishing that the dude would marry them. Even though you know nothing about marriage, you just want to one-up one of the other baby mamas. If he marry you, them heifers going to be mad. Them bees going to be some sad when he married me. So he proposed to one of them that I recall, but never married her. And then everybody else was fighting because he proposed to her. That's why the proposals are so big because, oh my God, if he proposed to her, he made all the other baby mamas look stupid. And so she's the main one because he proposed to her, but he never married her. He was ended up getting killed. So nobody got married. You know what I'm saying? Unless they married somebody else later on in life. I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. But yeah, it's just a whole big game. And these wouldn't be knowing what's going on. This type of stuff that she's talking about, I've seen it growing up. Trust me, when I was a teenager, I've seen it. You get what I'm saying? Teenage pregnancies, women like that. It's in the hood. And they don't know any better. But they in a ghetto way, they do be wanting marriage. They be like, ooh, if my baby daddy proposed to me, they'd make them feel good. You know what I'm saying? Child, it'd be a hot mess. I ain't gonna lie. XYZ, what's going on? How are you? DeeDee, like, share, subscribe, super chat. Thank you. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribe. Make sure you send a super chat to support the channel, you guys. A $5 super chat should not break you guys, all right? So make sure you're supporting in that way. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, XYZ, for being here and supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Baby, let's continue, child.
When was the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'll pass.
Okay.
Girl,
you have to work on.
She'll pass. That means she did something. And the baby is only 18 months old. Let's continue.
Personally, I would have to say I need to maybe work on my patience. My patience is very thin. I would say that I need to work on. I knew this question was going to come up, but my patience is the main thing. Like, I have a low tolerance for bullshit. Like,
really,
I don't have time to play no games with anyone. And that's what I feel like pretty much it. That's the biggest thing is my patience.
Okay. Okay. And the case that happened with you, and not to go back to that, but I want to get clarity.
That's fine.
This guy, your child's father was living with you, right? At the time?
Yeah.
So I hate main or side, but would you consider yourself as the main girlfriend, I guess?
Kendra, I don't know. I don't know.
But you didn't know about her, but she probably knew about you.
Probably.
Okay. All right. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Because I am smart. I'm intelligent. I feel like I bring a lot to the table when it comes to motivating, inspiring. I cook, I clean. I know how to.
Motivating and inspiring what? Because clearly it didn't motivate or inspire the baby daddy. Why couldn't you motivate and inspire him to do right by you? Motivate, inspire a man to do what? Because clearly you have a low tolerance for bullshit, but you had a man living in your house, knocked you up and knocked up other women. You don't know how many kids he got. You don't know if you was his main girl. Was you even his girlfriend? But you're smart. Make it make sense. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make sense of it, ma'am. You're smart. You have a low tolerance for BS. You can motivate and inspire a man, but the man that you had seems like he was doing whatever he wanted to do. And then now y'all not together and you stuck with a baby. And another woman had a baby at the same time, 3 months apart from you. What did you motivate and inspire him to do? Why did it not work on the previous relationship? So what man looking at this would, how would a man look at this? This is what you got to realize. What man is going to look at you and be like, oh, she's smart. She can motivate and inspire me and she's got my back and all this, when you just gave a baby to a guy who was a pookie, who had another woman pregnant, and you don't know how many kids. He's just he's not looking good on paper. And but you can motivate and inspire. How you gonna do, what, that ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. Your actions don't line up for what's coming out of your mouth. I'm just saying. And people aren't stupid. Let's continue.
Take care of a man and also allow him to lead, So I think that's why I would be perfect.
Okay. Let me read the caption again. This is Deja. Do you want him to be in North Carolina?
He could be in North Carolina, wherever. It doesn't matter. I can do long distance.
Okay. 29 tourists, mom to a 1-year-old. Do you want more kids?
With the ring, yes.
We gotta be married. Could the guy have kids already?
Yes, he can. 2 max.
2 max. Okay. Social worker. You said you do want to get married. All right.
I'm gonna just say this, because I ain't really want to chew y'all up in the comments, because what y'all saying really doesn't matter to me. But half of y'all on here have kids that did not get married first, and then secondly, y'all are just on here to troll because that's all you have to do. You really don't have a real life. But love you anyway.
She said,
baby, listen, that's her, she's trying to protect herself because they hurt her feelings by what they were saying. And I'm just like, listen, you half the people, you don't know the people, and you don't know if they have kids or not. And I think, don't project your own stuff onto somebody else. People are only just responding by what you put out there. When you put your personal business, which I think is a mistake that a lot of people do, don't put your personal stuff out there like that. I think the focus shouldn't be on another man at this point. It should be on you just taking care of your kids and figuring out how you can do better for your family. And that's it until you're in a better place. Yeah, you can't say most people watching probably have kids and not married, because there are a lot of people who don't have kids and they're not married. And there are a lot of women in particular who are married, so it really don't matter at the end of the day, because that's your life. And I think when you put it out there, people are going to have a response, and you shouldn't be mad by it. But I think it's a mechanism that people use to try to protect themselves because they don't like what's being said. Yawaba, I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry if I butchered it, but thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the super chat and your support. Says Sheba Dog, bowing respectfully, child. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you for being here and for supporting the channel. Thank you. Yeah, it's just they, hit dogs will holler. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Your bitch ass is a bastard
And look,
too. So before you talk about me, you better go talk to your mama for having me, having you without being married to your daddy. And that's for the ones that know your daddy. Because some of y'all don't even know your daddy. And y'all bitch asses is just watching and trolling because y'all ain't got shit else to do.
And your mama drinking Coke 45, ho. My birthday is on Tuesday, so yes, I'm lit, not drunk. It's a difference. Thank you, Kendra. Anyway,
You said your mama finna drink the Coke 45 with the Plan B, bitch.
Exactly, bitch. Anyway. Thank you for having me on my birthday.
Come on now, you know better.
Myself, I love it. I was talking to my friend. I was like, I'm getting on the show tonight, and guess what? I did. Universe working in my favor. Bye,
bye, baby.
Ma'am, you should have stayed off that damn show. And Kendra be hyping them up and then getting off laughing her ass off. Baby, listen, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I wouldn't hype that type of behavior up. I just would not. I just can't do it because I just think it's not a good look for our community, and we could do so much better. It's not about making mistakes. It's about learning from them, and I'm just saying, unfortunately, a lot of these women aren't learning from their mistakes, and they keep perpetuating them and still trying to make excuses for it. And once again, they want to be coddled and told that they're perfect and they're queens and any man should be lucky to have them. What you saying out of your mouth is a major contradiction to your actions and what you actually do. And I don't think they realize that. It's not about what you say, but it's about what you do. What do you do? What are you learning? How did you learn from that last relationship or lack thereof? Because I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think they're in relationships. I think they're just screwing. I think a lot of these women are just screwing, having fun, and they end up pregnant. And then they know that this guy, that's what he do. But because that's who you are attracted to, you just thinking a baby gonna make your relationship better or whatever. And then you end up a statistic by yourself complaining, and then now try to get another man with an 18-month-old. And I don't know if she have other kids, but I mean, come on, what man of any substance is gonna wanna? And I don't think she and see, this is the thing. I think a lot of these women take it as an insult. Who said coping? I saw somebody said she's coping. Absolutely. 100% agree. Who said that? Down bad. And I think she said coping. Somebody said she's coping. Yeah, you coping with your choices. And you're not learning from them. So you're gonna end up doing the same thing over and over and over again. You're gonna meet another Pookie and think that he's something, and then you're gonna end up pregnant by him. Now you got another baby. And then as soon as you get a baby, then they walk off. Like, oh, well, because y'all probably wasn't in a relationship. Y'all was just meeting and hooking up. That's all they're doing. Spreading that all over, and that's all you're getting out of it. And so, once again, any advice that I could give any young women who may be in this situation, listen, get yourself together. Just because you're in the hood don't mean you have to be hood. Just because you're raised in an environment that is not the best don't mean you have to emulate that. Get outside of your community and hang around people who got something going for themselves. Work on yourselves when you're young. Work on yourself. Build yourself up. Stop thinking that, oh, he fine, I'm trying to get to the D is all you need to be doing. That's the last thing you should be doing, in my opinion. That is not that important. I'm just saying. And I know everybody like intimacy and all that, but that is not what you need to be focused on. If you're out here and you keep running into dudes who only want to sleep with you, leave that alone. Get yourself to a better place. Learn some new words. Go read some books. Do something to enhance yourself, to better yourself. Learn, get a little bit more knowledge in your head and learn some things. Go do something constructive. Learn a new language. Go learn or do something. Shit. Than just sitting around screwing all day, because that ain't benefiting you. Trying to get more government assistance, that is not beneficial. Go learn something, build yourself up, do something that will make you better. Not in the name of you don't need a man, but do something that will help you attract a better type of dude. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's going to take you seriously. Present yourself in a more feminine, more, respectable way. Learn something new. Be open to constructive criticism, because if you were raised in an environment where all they do is cuss and all they do is talk trash and all they do is drink Budweiser and smoke cigarettes and weed and hang out on the stoop all day, all night and play video games and, just stuff like that, you got to get out of that environment, because that is not helping you. That's not helping you. And if everybody around you getting pregnant and nobody believes in birth control, nobody believes in marriage, commitment, relationships, bettering yourselves, you got to get out of that environment and do something better for yourself. That's all I'm saying. And stop getting all them damn tattoos all over your body. That is not pretty. That is not pretty. I don't know. And that's like a red flag, in my opinion, to how some of these women are, which tattoos are art. My sister have them. And I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with a tattoo. But I'm like, if you are out here and you're single and you're looking to get a respectable man, maybe don't tattoo. I'm not saying you can't have a couple of tattoos, but don't just get them throat tattoos and head and all over your body. That don't look good. That don't look good. And some men might be thrown off by that. I'm just saying. But if you want the best outcome, or you want to have the possibilities of the best outcome you could get, don't do that. Get yourself together. Change the way you dress. You don't have to be a hoochie mama. You don't have to be out here dressing like a 304. Wear respectable clothing. Present yourself in a respectable way. A lot of these young women are attractive, but the way they move and how they act is unattractive. You could be a beautiful woman, but when you open your mouth and then you smoking and you calling everybody bro and all of that and how you move, that would be a turnoff for any man that would even consider you. You know what I'm saying? You got tattoos on your throat and on your forehead and knuckles and all this kind of shit and walking around dressed, all that plays a part in who you attract. So if you're really trying to attract somebody that's about something, you have to present yourself in that way. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's not a shade. It's none of that. It's just the honest truth. You gotta attract. If you want better, you gotta do better. You just can't sit down and wallow with this hood mentality and think that you're gonna get a man that's gonna come in and just change your whole world around, because you wouldn't even know what to do with him. Even if he decided, you know what, I like her enough to where I will accept her, but you're gonna run him off with your hood mentality. You're not gonna know what to do with him. You're gonna treat him like he's a hood dude. And eventually that's gonna fall apart because you have no idea of what it takes for a relationship to work. And I think both parties need to know that. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense, y'all. Because I know I get to talking, but I hope I'm making some kind of sense. Lord, please, some kind of sense. And so yeah, and that's why I think a lot of these women are delusional, and society is just helping them be delusional and making them think that that's the right way to go when it's not, setting them up for failure. Women smoking weed and blacking mouths. Yeah, it is, Lorenzo. Lord. Robert Benjamin, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says first time watching and subscriber. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and subscribing, Robert. I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the support. And thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's just crazy, y'all. And so, I just wish we could, somebody hears what I'm saying and learn something good comes of it, y'all. Jamari 81, thank you so much for the super chat, says these same women who get pregnant outside of marriage think that marriage is too much responsibility and burdensome. You're right. But and I think the reason they think that, Jamari, is because, and I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you for the support. Thank you. But because they weren't taught to be wives. They weren't raised to be wives. So they don't, like I said a while back, people think marriage is like a dungeon. Like you get married and all of a sudden the word wife means you get thrown in a dungeon and you can't, like you got a wife means, oh my God, you're held to a higher standard, or you can't be human, or you can't do certain things. Now, I mean, to a degree, as a wife, yeah, you got to respect your man, and as much as you want him to respect you, and you can't just go out here doing any old kind of thing out in the streets. But if you are a woman that's married, you probably wasn't doing that in the first place. You know what I'm saying? If you're looked at as marriage material, it's because you were not out in the streets like that anyway. So it's not, you don't have to change that. You know what I'm saying? You were picked because you were deemed marriage material. That guy saw some things about you and he liked what he saw, and he learned some things about you, and he felt like, hey, this is marriage material. I'm going to marry her. And usually those women aren't for the streets. They usually don't party all night, and so that ain't what you're doing as a single woman is probably not much different when you become a wife, if you are deemed wifey material. I hope that makes sense. You like I'm saying, if you met a woman who was outside 24/7, you marrying her is not going to change that. You see what I'm saying? So she's already for the streets, and marrying her, giving her the title wife is not going to change her from being in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that's just who she is. So more than likely, you're not going to want to marry that because you see what that is. You see what I'm saying? So usually, from what I gather, men who meet women that they deem, that they want to marry, is certain qualities that woman has that he appreciates and he wants, and he will wife her up because he knows he might not get another chance, or it might not, might not find another woman who has those qualities. You know what I'm saying? There are certain qualities that women who get married, who get picked, is certain qualities that they do have. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't change your overall life. Like, you can't be human, you can't have fun and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of people think being married is like you lose yourself and you can't do nothing, and you just strapped down in a house. Oh my God, she got a husband, so she can't do shit. No, it ain't that. Like, I don't understand why. No, it means you do stuff with your husband. Y'all do things too. You share life with that person. That's all. You share life with that person and kids. So it's not just you anymore. You got to think about your spouse and your children. That's the only difference. Y'all can go out and have fun. Y'all can do all kind of things. I don't know why people think when you get married, you just shut off from the world and oh my God, you just bogged down in a dungeon and you can't do nothing. That is so untrue. No. At least my experience. You have fun with your husband. You build a life with your husband and a family. You have fun with them. It means you have somebody to share life with. You don't have to do everything by yourself. So if you like traveling, your husband like traveling, y'all travel together. Y'all travel with the family. If y'all like plays, if you like concerts, if you like picnics in the park, if y'all do that together, that's it. You share the moments, you capture the moments with a family. It's just not just you single, doing it, in a hookup situation or doing it, you know what I'm saying? You got somebody to share your life with. That's the difference. Thank you, Jamari, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Lord Bison, thank you for the super chat. Says, I recently returned to the States and I ran into a woman I used to date. She asked me for 10. What? Wait a minute. Did you give it to her? Please let me know. Did you give it to her? Lord have mercy. Damn, she need. Did you give her the $10? Probably did. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Goodness, Lord have mercy. Oh Lord. Spear, the other side of things. Thank you for the super chat. It says, bottom line, Black people don't plan for kids. I would say a lot of them don't. Spear, some of them do, but a lot of them do not. Okay, there's a group of individuals who don't, and there's a group who do. So it's not all, but it's a lot of them don't. This is why we have, it's a single mother epidemic. A lot of, when it comes to marriage, a lot black women are at the bottom. So they don't prioritize marriage in mass, and they don't plan for children. I would say a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have the issue with all these single mothers. They're not planning. They don't plan for marriages and the family structure, and a lot of them don't plan for children. They're just having them, yeah. So I mean, there is some truth to that. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate the support. C. Irving says, we hear you loud and clear, DeeDee. 100. What does your husband hold most important about you? What's most important to him in your marriage? What's most important to him in your marriage? I mean, I guess you would have to ask him that. But I mean, look, my husband is, one for the books, I will say. He is not like no other man that I've ever met. Okay. And he knows what he wants. He went after it and he gets what he wants for the most part. And, my husband is very family oriented, always wanted a big family. And that's exactly what he got. And he's just, my husband is a man of his word and he stands by it. He knows that's it. That's all I can say. He loves his family and he's there 100% of the time, the entire time. You get what I'm saying? Ain't too many men, I think, that I don't think I could compare him to be honest with you. Ain't too many men that I could compare my husband to. Because like I said, he knows he's one for the books, which means he's his own. He marched to the beat of his own drum. He's his own man. He does not follow nobody. He don't listen to nobody. He doesn't line up with nobody. He does his own thing. He is not the typical man like you would think, in a good way. And so, once he puts his mind to something that he wants, that's what he goes for, and that's what he sticks to. And that's it. He does not deviate from that. He sticks to what he wants and what he believes in and and that's it. Ain't nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just that. That's my husband. He loves his family. He loves us. We love him. And that's it. We do what we need to do to make it work. And we build up on that. That's it. And that's why I be telling people there's no special method or rhyme or reason. You just do what you need to do. You signed up for a wife and, for a family, and that's what you wanted. and you take care of your responsibilities, you do what's necessary for your family, and that's it. There's no special sauce, there's no all this extra stuff in there. It is, you do what you take care of what you signed up for. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And if you commit to somebody, you commit to them. You commit to it. You say you love them, you love them. You show love, you show your commitment, and that's it. And you do that for each other, and that's it. That's the key to communication, compromising, knowing the person you're with, knowing that you are there for the long haul, knowing that y'all are committed to each other, and that's it to the end. No, big grandiose reasons or rhymes behind it. It's just, that's what it is. That's what it is. And like I said before, when it comes to being in a relationship, I think I had the harder time because I was raised by a single mother and taught that kind of like some of these women, like, oh, that wasn't that important. And then see, my husband, he has his own mind, and he moves, like I said, to the beat of his own drum. He knows what he wants, and when he wants something, he go after it, he stick to it, and that's it. There's no other thoughts outside of that or nothing. Me, on the other hand, being raised by a single mother, I had to learn a few things. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one who had the issues because I saw things a certain way based on how I was raised, and I had to realize, look, that the stuff that I was taught as a young girl raised by a single mother, it did not apply to my relationship because I wasn't dealing with a deadbeat. I wasn't dealing with a no good nigga. You know what I mean? My mom, we was raised to learn how to deal with no good niggas. And I didn't have that, I didn't have to go run behind my man and figure out where he was at and when he was cheating and all. I didn't have to do that. See, but the way we was raised and taught growing up is how to deal with them kind of dudes, because that's what they dealt with. They dealt with having to chase and lie to a man and tell him all kind. I didn't have to do that. So I had to change my way of thinking because what I was given did not apply to what I was experiencing. And so, I had to learn a few things, and I did. And so I just think, relationships can be rough because you don't understand how to make them work. But once you understand how to make them work and you learn things and you actually apply it, then you shouldn't have any problems. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that answered the question. But I think everything about what we give to each other and how we move with our family is what's most important. Us, our family, how we move, how we do things, how we grow, what we want in life, what we going after, how we achieve it together is what's most important. The overall family structure, us working together and building our own family in our own way, not how somebody else tell us to do it, not what somebody else expect from us, what people say or think you should do in a marriage. None of that applies, because once you are with somebody, you do what's necessary for it to work between the two of you, not what everybody else expects or what everybody else thinks. What everybody else thinks is null and void. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, the two people who are in that relationship, y'all know what y'all need to make it work, and y'all do it, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And so you should drown out the noise, and anybody else outside of your relationship, you should not be listening to outside people telling you what they think about your relationship. That's another piece of advice that I would give people. Do not depend on other people giving you advice on something you and the person you're with should be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's between the two of you. What everybody else has to say shouldn't matter. Unless, as long as there's no abuse and things like that going on that other people are privy to, then if they're telling you, hey, get out of it, I could see that. But besides that, nah, you gotta talk to the person that you with. You gotta understand each other. Y'all gotta figure out what it is that y'all want and how y'all can work on it and get it done. Not everybody else. So, and that's another key thing too. But thank you, C. Irvin. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for the question. Let's see. I hope that answered it. Did I answer that, C. Irving? Let's see. I'm trying to see something. It's hot in here. Oh, Lord Bison said no. He didn't give it a $2. You didn't give it $10. Oh my God. He said no. He didn't give it them damn $10. Oh my God. That's funny. Um, Child, I'm sweating, Lord. Stan Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Says, don't have time for dating, kids, nor want to save money. Why they want to get married? It makes no sense. Where the white women at? Oh my God, child. Lord, thank you for the super chat, Stan. I appreciate your support and thank you so much for being here. Great Win, what's going on, Great Win? Great Win says, what are you saying? I can't see it. The need to be smarter about who they open their legs to and stop having low value men blast their seed in them. Right. Thank you for the super chat, Great One. I appreciate you. Yeah. I mean, that needs to stop though. The need to be smarter about who they open their legs to and stop having low value men blast their seed in them. Your body, your choice. So you have the ultimate responsibility to not let somebody do that. You know what I mean? If that's not what you want. But I think a lot of them want that, Gray. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Jamari 81, thank you for the super chat. Says, I feel worse for the children caught in the middle of two adults making bad decisions. They will start life in broken homes and possible trauma. Exactly. But you know what, Jamari, the argument is, well, there are people who have two-parent households and they still have trauma. But why are you worried about? This is what I say. You can't worry about other people. You got to worry about you. You know, a lot of women try to justify their behavior, you know, by saying, well, so what? Other people who have families, you know, like I just said, their children could still be traumatized. Okay, cool. That might be a point. But why aren't you focused on your choices and what you're doing? Why not try to give your child the best possible outcome or give yourself the best possible outcome? Why just go and do things and settle for the worst as opposed to trying to do your best? And that's what they don't want to hear. It's always a justification for your actions because you don't want to do the right thing. You know, the same way I hear single women who say, girl, because guess what, girl? Marriage ain't the flex. Yeah, but if a man walked up to you that you actually liked and he proposed to you, you would be happy and ecstatic. You would be happy. You would say yes. You wouldn't turn him down because you don't think you think marriage is not a flex. You would actually want to marry him. See, it's not a flex because you can't get it. See? And that's your way of coping, like somebody said earlier, coping with the fact that you probably won't ever get married. There probably won't ever be a man who looks at you in a special way to think that you're worthy of that. So you just got to cope with that and, you know, try to make it seem smaller than what it actually is because you can't get it. See, I'm aware of the tactics because I've seen it for so long. So, yeah, so you got to try to diminish somebody else's marriage because you know you can't get it. Well, they probably ain't even happy. Okay, well, get you a man and see if y'all gonna be happy. I'm just saying. Get you a man to marry you and see if you could be a wife and see if y'all actually happy and y'all work it out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of assuming the worst with somebody else's marriage because you don't think you'll ever get it. You get what I'm saying? But thank you, Jamari, for the super chat. I appreciate you once again. Yeah, that's crazy, y'all. Let's see. It's just me and me. Women are turned off by good men. That's for sure a gaslight right there. Yeah, they're full of shit. A lot of these women are full of shit, to be honest with y'all. They don't, you know, they so used to Pookie and Ray Ray. A good man comes, they don't know what to do with him, to be honest with you. A lot of these women don't know what to do to a good man. There's a situation that I recall, you know, where, and like I told you, I could definitely write a book because, you know, what I've seen is like, it illustrates exactly what we're talking about in 2025. And I've seen this years ago when I was younger. I've seen all this play out. I've seen women, you know, in my family, honestly, who have had, you know, who've dealt with cheaters and dudes who weren't good. I've seen women meet good dudes and played them and didn't want them, you know, and messed over a man who probably would have been a good man, who probably would have wanted to marry them, but he wasn't their type. So they just treated him funny until they ran him off. And then you still just sleeping with the what you would consider Pookie types back then and just getting babies by them. Child, never been married. I mean, I've seen it all play out, you know. And at the time when I seen it, I mean, I saw it, I didn't fully understand what was going on. And as I got older, I realized what it was. This is why when I first started hearing Kevin Samuels talk about the women in their families and how I so much related to what he was saying because I saw it. It was like, God damn, he ain't lying. I was just intrigued by what he was saying because I knew it was the truth. And it may not be the truth for everybody, but it damn sure resonated with me because I've seen this stuff happen. And I'm like, wow, he ain't lying. And then when men started talking about their experiences, I'm like, well, damn, this is stuff that I've seen and I know it exists. It may not exist for everyone, but it certainly exists. And he wasn't lying about the nature of women and how they acted and how they moved. And that's why I was like, damn, I got to respond to this because he was on point. And so, and it's funny that all this is coming out now through social media because it's just exposing what we've already knew and what we've seen. There have been men who have talked about their relationships with their mothers, that they're strained because of the way that the mothers were. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can identify and relate to that. So it's just not something we're pulling out our butts. A lot of this stuff is the truth. And a lot of people have, had to deal with that or have been traumatized by a lot of these, the issues that their mothers have caused. Even though all of the pushes on the men and the men left and all that, these women were hellions a lot of the times. So that's why I said we can't ignore, one without the other. If the men were horrible, raised by single mothers, and a lot of the women were too. They weren't saints. And a lot of these men and women can attest to it. So that's all I'm saying. Listen, if we're going to call out the men, we got to call out the women. We got to call out their behavior to this day. The mentality that they have that's causing them to think and move the way they're moving, that's actually hurting relationships and thriving families. It's a part of the reason why there's this divide between women and men. And if they don't change it, it's only going to get worse. But to me, I think men will fare a little bit better because they might be able to go and get wives and relationships from other women, while a lot of these women have boxed themselves in and they've created a narrative that surrounds them. And they can't escape it. You won't be able to escape it. Black women, unfortunately, have been put in this box of being loud and aggressive and all that because a lot of them are. I wouldn't put it on all of them, but a lot of them are having an attitude. This is the very thing that men are complaining about. Attitude, bad behavior, aggressive, mad, booted up all the time. You can't even smile because you had such a toxic upbringing. You don't even know how to do that. Like all of that plays a big part in how you are in a relationship. So it's not a surprise that relationships fail and these women can't, keep long-term relationships because part of the problem is them. And you notice I said part of the problem is them. I'm not putting it all on them because it takes two. But they will certainly try to put it all on the men. And I think that's where they got to stop doing that. Stop doing that. It's not all the men. Y'all got to at some point accept that y'all are part of the problem, baby. That y'all have a lot of shit going on with y'all that y'all don't want to fix. And that is part of the problem. See what I'm saying? It takes two. All right. So I'm going to leave it here, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate you guys for supporting, for super chats, for liking the stream, for giving your thoughts, your comments, and all of that in the stream. I appreciate you guys for that. Make sure you continue to support by watching the videos posted on the channel, y'all. Go over and like the videos that are already posted, at least, and comment and share them if you can. And please do not forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live, you guys. I'm going to try to do more lives, but if I do more lives, more on a daily consistency, we're going to just do like an hour, okay? Is that cool? If I do more lives, because I did this before, if I can pop up here more often, we probably do like maybe an hour for you guys, just to make sure that I'm interacting with y'all more often, all right? So make sure you guys have that notification bell turned on. And continue to support the channel as much as possible. All right. Thank you, Lorenzo. I appreciate you so much for being here and supporting the channel. That is it, you guys. That's all I have today. Lorenzo, are you? Yeah, you are a moderator. So, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Ada James, Jay, thank you so much for being here. Zik, Yawaba, I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for being here, Lord Bison. I appreciate you guys. Ezra, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Michael Lee, what's going on? I hope y'all are doing well. Shout out to everybody. It's just me. All of you guys in the chat, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Continue to support the channel, you guys. We are still trying to grow. It's been a struggle, actually, y'all, to grow this channel. But with your help, make sure you guys are continuing to watch and like the videos, y'all. That definitely helps the channel to grow so we can reach a bigger audience, all right? So thank y'all once again. If you have any videos that you would like me to react to, DM me on Instagram at DeeDee's World, DeeDee's Reactions. So make sure you guys are DMing your videos that you would like me to react to at DeeDee's Reactions on Instagram. Make sure you send them over there. Shout out to everybody who supported the channel in any possible way. I appreciate you so much. So y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.